It was pretty scary last night. Hello, it is Friday. It is a little after 5 p.m. and I am out here at the Superstition Mountains. Just starting out on Siphon Draw Trail, heading out towards Flatiron. About a 3-mile hike, and I got a little pack on, staying the night out on Flatiron. A little backpacking overnighter. Backpack's pretty heavy because I'm carrying a ton of water, and so it should be a pretty good time. Really excited about it. I would suggest to everybody not to do this kind of trip in the middle of August in Arizona, but I have a fair bit of experience being out on trails like this during the summer out in the desert. It is my first overnighter like this, but I have a fair bit of experience, a lot of water, a lot of electrolytes, brought food, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna document some of it on my phone, so quality might not be the best, but I figured I'd have a little fun making a video out of this whole thing. So here we go. We're only about half a mile in, and it's just already just a constant, slight little uphill. Backpack's definitely heavy, but we're doing okay. No problem. At the trailhead, there was like a water spout, and I used it to splash myself with water so I could start off with a little moisture on my body. I think it took about 3 minutes for it to dry. So it's hot, but like I said, I got plenty of water and electrolytes, so we are gonna be just fine. You might wonder, why are you carrying a walking stick? It's because on the uphills, being able to use my arms to push down actually really helps. That is why I use a walking stick. Makes things a little easier, not a whole lot. Hey, check this out. We are entering Tonto National Forest. This is where we're allowed to camp. Otherwise that's state park, and it's not as open for camping as national forest land, which on national forest land you can camp within 300 feet of any trail or forest road. So that's what we're doing, heading up and up. All right, we are 1 mile in, getting a lot closer to the mountain here. Let's see kind of how much we've already climbed. Trailheads down there, so have gone up already about 350 feet. Only have about 2,200 left to go climbing up that bad boy. Feels good though. I mean, it's definitely, I haven't hiked with a backpack this heavy in a very long time, so that's definitely so far the hardest part. The heat is fine. It's fine. Doesn't really bother me, but yeah, the weight of the pack I think is going to be one of the biggest challenges. And this hike definitely gets a lot steeper. I haven't done it before, but I have been reading a lot about people who have. It gets a lot steeper, so it's gonna be a challenge, but a welcome one. I did want to share with you a fun fact or a pro tip from Johan. If the water in your Camelback gets really hot when you're hiking, it's cold. If it gets real hot when you're hiking, after you take a drink, blow all the water back in to the bladder, because it's the water that's in the tube that's exposed to the sun that gets hot. So if you blow all the water back in, then your water will stay nice and cold. Fun fact, pro tip. Let's continue on. 1 mile in, 2 more to go. All right, we are a mile and a half. Apparently we are halfway between way down there and way up there. Where is it? There it is. That's where we're going. Pretty good, especially with the pack. Having fun. There's a reason why these mountains are called the Superstition Mountains. There's just something really eerie about being up here. And it's kind of cool to think that this would have been like a natural path for the Apache and the Hohokam to use to like go into the Superstition Mountains to hunt and stuff. So it's kind of cool to think that I'm walking on the same, if not similar trails that all those guys were going in. Obviously they were in much better shape than I am. But still, it's cool to be walking on history. We're still going up that way. Let's get to it. We are 2 miles in and we just reached what's called Siphon Draw, which is this crazy little like funnel like thing where all the rain comes down when it rains. But yeah, it's about 2 miles in, so supposedly only 1 more mile to the top of that right there. Looks like basically going up Camelback, which it's hard enough as it is without a pack on your. I didn't weigh my pack because I was afraid of what it weighs. I'm sure I massively overpacked for a one night trip, but I don't know, I figured it's better have a little more than not enough. Heavy pack, 2 miles in, 1 mile to go. Let's do this. At this point, pretty much rock climbing up this thing. I've gone like a 1/10 of a mile in like 20 minutes. We're in for a long haul here for this last mile. Okay, I think I have about a 1/4 mile left, according to the distance the trailhead said, and I had to stop and rest. This is brutal. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, for sure. I definitely think I'll make it. I mean, that's the top right there. I definitely think I'll make it, but I think it'll go into the dark. So I just want to rest up a little bit so I can be a little more fresh to try to tackle the rest of this in the dark. And then obviously if it starts getting real sketchy, I'm basically just going to look for a semi-flat area to just set up camp and not worry about getting all the way to the top. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, for sure. So just taking a rest, drinking some water, getting some electrolytes, and then I'm going to continue on. It's beautiful though. No complaints there, for sure. All right, so I'm not at the top yet. The top is, you can't really see it. It's too dark. Part of the trail that I'm on is all like really big, loose rocks. And I'm actually like pretty nervous about trying to go up this, especially in the dark. All the rocks are just shifting under my feet and it's just weird. So I found this boulder that I'm sitting on and it's kind of body length. And as crazy as it might sound, I think I might just sleep here tonight. A little more exposed than I was planning. But the truth is that I'm pretty nervous about trying to go up this in the dark. It sucks because I can literally see the top, but it just seems so far away. So I just want to be safe. I don't want to do something I'm scared of. I'm really tired, so trying to go up this in the dark with the loose rock, it just makes me nervous. So better to be safe than sorry. So Flatiron won this time. It's gonna be weird sleeping here, but I'll figure it out. This is what I wanted, I guess. So my tent poles aren't working, so I'm basically going to use my tent as a bivy sack. I have a quilt and a sleeping pad, but I might have to forego both of those, or at least the sleeping pad, because it's just super slippery and I'm literally on top of this boulder with just like a drop off. So I need to sleep pretty carefully. I probably won't sleep very much, but that's my dinner. I have a can of soup in there that I was going to heat up, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not super hungry. There's some goldfish in there, so I'll probably do that, and then just I'll eat breakfast in the morning. But that's the view. It's not bad. Oh yeah, that's bright light. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't make it to the top. But I'm glad I found this boulder. It's probably my best option. And I definitely am not, it's pitch black out here. I'm not comfortable hiking up in the dark, even with my flashlight. So I'm doing what I can. I'm gonna make the best of it here. Hopefully get some sleep, and if I wake up at 4 in the morning and there's a little bit of light, then I'll start heading down. But yeah, it's a little eerie, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of bugs and creatures making noises around me, so, but I guess that's kind of what I signed up for when I came down here, or up here. So yeah, it's interesting. I did not expect to have to make such a decision on my first backpacking trip. But here I am. So I'm gonna try to rest as much as I can, and then head down in the morning. Try to get out of here. See you later. Just to give you guys an idea of where I slept last night. By the way, it's just past 4:30. Sun should be coming up here in the next hour. And this is the rock that I slept on. This is a blanket that was inside my tent here that's not set up at all. I basically just slept on top of that using my sleeping pad as a pillow, and that was where I slept. And it's literally just the black abyss everywhere around me. So, and the city's down there. It was pretty scary last night. Heard a lot of noises. I'm pretty sure there was some javelinas around me at some point. It was like everything made me jump, and every time I'd kind of start nodding off, something would kind of startle me. So did not get a lot of sleep. I was really hoping to be able to sleep in a tent tonight, and that did not happen. So pretty sure the sun's gonna start coming up soon, so I'm just gonna start packing everything up and getting ready to head out literally as soon as it's light enough. And Flatiron has defeated me, but it was still a good experience. I had to face a lot of fears because it was definitely scary, but we're all good. And I had my knife with me the whole time. So I'm gonna pack up, and as soon as it's light enough, I'm gonna head out. All right, we are all packed up. It is 5 o'clock. You see a little bit of a glow in the sky from the sun about to start coming up, but I'm just gonna start heading out and get as far down as I can, super carefully. Get off this mountain. We're making pretty good time down. Sun's starting to come up. It's a little more light. So the Apaches used to worship the Superstitions because they thought that this is where the thunder gods lived. Because the way the canyons are, when there's any kind of seismic activity, it like rumbles through the mountains. I haven't heard any of that yet, but every time an airplane passes by, I think that's what it is. It's funny. Anyway, making good time. A little sketchy, but doing all right. siphon draw. Making really good time on the way out. Going downhill is way easier than going uphill. Almost down off the mountain. These people hiking up this morning, they're all like, what time did you get out of here? Thinking I went to the top and down already today. Like, no, I camped out. It is a nice morning. Although I feel like I'm sweating more than I did yesterday, which is weird. You know, the good news is I peed twice last night. I peed while I was hiking yesterday. And I'm sweating a lot, which means I'm well hydrated. That's good. Figured I'd stop by the Superstition Wilderness sign to recap this trip a little bit. Definitely not what I was expecting. I was hoping to spend the night up there, but I was just to the base of that cliff basically. Didn't have my tent set up, and at first I tried sleeping inside the tent, but like just collapsed, and it was really warm because I wasn't getting the breeze at all. So I just slept out in the open and didn't get a lot of sleep. Probably got like a total of maybe 3 hours of sleep the whole night, maybe 4 if I'm lucky. Yeah, just kind of constantly waking up, startled by stuff. It's scary for sure, but I enjoyed it, if that's weird. It's like, I don't know, something really raw about just sleeping out in the open, exposed to the elements. We are just part of this earth anyway, so it's basically I was like one with the earth last night. Yeah, just got a little bit of a hike down, all downhill, no big deal. Really enjoyed it, but it was scary. I think next time I do a backpacking trip, I'm gonna pick an easier trail. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head down the rest of the way now. Good recap. Good talk. Back into state park land. Bye, Superstition Mountains. Thanks for the adventure.